All right. So, you beautiful people, thank you for showing up here to explore the book, Being You, Changing the World with me. How did I get so lucky? I've read it many, many. Hi, Nippy.
Hi, Kamal.
How are you?
I'm good.
Good, welcome. I've read this book many, many times. It's so close to my heart. And if I haven't read the full one at one go, I'm like, this is my Bible or whatever. I just open it and find all my answers here. I've read it, and every time it's not the same because I have changed, and because the book now shows itself different to match with my energy. Has it ever happened to you guys?
Yeah.
The movie, the second time it's different.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like How to Become Money.
Yeah, we've done.
Every time you read it, you find out something different.
Imagine whenever I tell somebody who's not in Access that I've done this, they're celebrating what my son and my nephew said. I don't understand. Why do you have to read the same book 50 times? And why do you have to read it together? He said, somebody knows how to read it and has the book can read it, right? But I was lost. I didn't know what to say. So I put it in the CF group. Okay, somebody is asking me this. And then a lot of other things came and I sent it to him. What was it? What was it before Access and what is it now? Being you. What is the difference? And do you recognize that you're more of being you now than you ever? Hi, Shimona. So that's an awareness for you. You don't have to share it here if you don't want to. Just ask a question. What was it for you before Access and what is it for you now? Because many people ask me questions. You might be asking yourself, and I was asking myself. And just by asking once, you don't get it. You have to keep asking the same question. Because there is no we keep finding it in our heads, and there is a limited material there. So if you really want to know what being you is for you, then you might have to ask many times. I didn't get it by asking once. I'm still asking. So I was like, oh my God, how do you be me, you? And is it some place that you have to go? Is it some things that you have to do? What is it? What would it take? So all the questions that you have, please ask again. You would keep getting clarity by the minute. It's like a perception. But why did I want to know it? Why would anybody want to know what is being you? Because that was so light. Being you, listening to that word and looking at this book and this man here was like, I want to know. So if you are curious like I am and wonder, what is it? Then let's go for it. There's an amazing energy to it. You all get it? That's why you're here. There's an amazing energy and you desire to know more, isn't it? And then I heard Dane's calls. Then I did Being You classes. And actually what I really got from it was, you are you till you choose to be not you. And what makes us choose not to be ourselves? Because we are told a child chooses to be him or herself. In every now they couldn't care less. And when do we change? We were children at one time. And when do we change? When do we choose not to be ourselves? When somebody tells you you're wrong. So everywhere, any of us in any lifetime have heard that you don't need to do this. Why should you do this? This is not done. You're too much. You never listen. Would you give up listening to that? Would you be willing to stop that continuous tape in your head? Right now, right away, for all eternity? Hi, Fiza. And everything that doesn't allow that, please, please, for God's sake, for your sake, for the universe's sake, for the world's sake, for the change's sake, give it up. Just like that. It's just a choice. You choose to give it up. And every time you say, oh, I gave it up and it came again, Kamal. Yes, it will. You have given energy to it for trillions of years. By doing it once won't help. But every time it comes up, just do this. Bye-bye. Don't sit with it. Don't blame yourself. Don't blame somebody else. It came back again. Oh, I'm useless. I don't know how to do it. Just allow it to go. Kindly, gently ask it, bye-bye. Thank you very much. I don't need you anymore. So how do you recognize you're being you? I recognize I'm being me when I try not to be right. I am being me when I'm like not having any sense of wrongness of me. I am being me when there is no judgment in my word of me or anybody else. And it's not always like that. You have to work towards it. It's like building a muscle. And I'm being me when I'm looking at the possibilities. Yesterday, day before I had a class, MTVSS, and there was a participant who said, why don't you have a retreat here I said, you and me, let's run this 20 times, MTVSS on each other. She says, okay. And the other one, of course, was from Ludhiana. She couldn't. But this one was from Chandigarh. So she said, let's do it. I said, okay. So she said, let's call people. Let's have a retreat here. Let's see who all wants to come here and run for as many days as they require or desire. Let's run for 20 days and leave it. That's how you get the sense of possibilities. And then you go for it rather than saying, no, it can't be done. Nobody will choose it. How many of you go stop your creations by judging yourself? Not any of you, right? Only me. Fiza wants to say something. What do you want to say, Fiza, darling?
In Fun Aging Group, few people are asking for the Zoom ID for the book reading. Can I share that over there?
Group.
Yeah, Fun Aging Group.
Yeah, so you can tell them to go on that group and
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you so much. So how many of you go to judging you if you are being you or not? That's not being you. Oh, I can't be me. I have so many faults. I'm not a good person. See, I troubled this one. See, I said something bad to this one. I have to become a better person to be me. No, friends, no. You are here right now. Beautiful beings being right where you are or you have to be. Right where you choose to be. Is there a destination? Not any that I know of. Anybody here knows of any destination that you will reach there and then you will be you? This moment, your choice. It's just this moment. And that what am I choosing? Or what are you choosing is determining, are you being you or not? Are you being away from you? making choices that lighten you up, following the energy that invites you to be you. Choosing that, choosing the lightness, not choosing heaviness and saying, "Main to theek kar lungi." When you are in sync with all that, there is loving every moment that you are. Totally in gratitude of who, what, where, when, why, how. If you're not being any of these, you're not being the amazing being you truly be. Instead, you're choosing less. Am I making any sense?
Hi, Kawal. Good
Hello,
morning.
welcome. Hi, Mansi. Lovely to see you here. Hi, Megha.
Hello, hello.
And lovely guys. Thank you so much for showing up. So grateful. When you actually find yourself hiding from even you, not able to face yourself in the mirror, sure enough, you have chosen to move away from you. That's how I know. When my peace, calm, happiness has left me, and I'm not in question. Question, yes, question, guys. If you were being you, you would be always in question. And the favorite question of mine is, if I was being me, would I choose this? Would I pick up this? Would I eat this? Would I create this? Would I say this? And I get to be me. Somehow the energy just shifts. Try it. It's like building a muscle, guys. So I have a link, which yesterday, because I had to face you guys, I had to face myself first, right? So I went reading the book, and I've been reading the book for last 1 week. I read the book, and I listened to some calls, which I had listened earlier, which I hadn't listened. And so I had found one book club that Dane did free. So I have a link for that. I will send it to you. So please, you can listen to it if you desire. So let's go to the book. Okay. So he says, we can only read 30% of the book, guys. So I counted the pages. It comes to 54 every day. We have 6 days. So we will read whatever we can, and the rest is your option to read it or not, and come with your questions if there are any. Okay. So he starts it with saying, I'm a dreamer. So who is a dreamer here? Anybody?
Me.
How many dreamers do you see around you? How many phenomenal people do you see around you that do not choose to be phenomenal? How many people around you are choosing to be who they truly be? And you can see it, they can't. They're making themselves wrong, and you can see, my God, how great that person is. I wish I had that. And when you go sit with them, they say, oh, I am not good enough. That is the drilled in point of view. These Gary and Dane have actually, and Access has actually changed my world. They are the two phenomenal people who are being themselves. They've not changed only my lives, they've changed many lives. Somebody, Zora, hi Param, welcome. Okay, so let's read. You may say I'm a dreamer, but I am not the only one. I hope someday you will join me, us, and the world will be as one. John Lennon. Be, yes,
पेज नंबर क्या है? आप कहाँ से पढ़ रहे हो?
just started. The first page.
The first page. Okay, let me see. Okay, ठीक है.
It is named as pages yet.
Yeah.
Be the change you want to be in the world. Who said that? Mahatma Gandhi. Be you and change the world. Who said that? Not Dane who wrote the book, but Gary. Can you beat it? I didn't know. I mean, I've read this book so many times. When I read it today, I said, oh my God, really? So there are people who, he says, when you have so many people say what some people say about this book, and then he says there's so many people that you have to include them. So would you want me to read all this, or you could read it at home?
No, Kaval, we can read it later.
Yeah. Or anybody else?
Kamal, read some, at least one page you can read, na? So
There is one. There is
we
one.
can feel the energy of writer also.
All right. Anyway, so let's read one person. Anne, what has she written? You know, Anne is also in Access, and she does works with children. What some people say about this book. You rocked my world with this book. I'm observing magical things. I am aware that every single aspect of my life is transforming. I'm 62 and really cannot remember a time in my life when I was not aware of and seeking what you talk about. How many of you are aware of what? When you picked up the book, how many of you resonated it like this? How many knew, wow, this, I knew it already. I did. I was like, oh my God, Access gave words to my knowing. So she says, I've known that in one way or the other. Yes, this is the time for me. In all the experiences, I have had the privilege of having this seem to be the icing on the cake. I'm just so grateful. So very grateful. It's like going to be like that only. We are going to read just 30%, then I think we should. And then there is gratitude for those people. And that's also one page. Then there are contents. And then beautiful you. Let's read from here. Can I make somebody a host so that they can invite, get people in? Because I sometimes, when I read, I get lost. Okay, never mind. I'll do it. Beautiful you. Somehow the book ended up in my hands. How does it get any better than that? So is now the time? Are you willing to be you and change the world? If so, my courageous friends, before you start reading, say this out loud, all 5 times. Yes, out loud. Everything is the opposite of what appears to be, and nothing is the opposite of what appears to be. Everything, you can say it, unmute it, or you can say it otherwise, on your choice. Everything is the opposite of what appears to be.
And nothing is the opposite of what it appears to be.
Everything is the opposite of what
It appears to be, and nothing is the opposite of what it appears to be.
Everything is the opposite of what appears to be, and nothing is the opposite of what appears to be. Everything is the opposite
of what it appears to be.
Nothing is the opposite of what appears to be. Everything is the opposite of what appears
to be, and nothing is the opposite of what it appears to be.
So now you are sufficiently.
Kamal, where are we?
It's page 1. Page 1.
Is it introduction or what? No.
Page 1.
Okay. ठीक है. Got it.
Now you are sufficiently prepared. Turn the page and begin the journey into weirdness. How many of you want to start the journey? How many of you are weird? And you tried not to be. You put yourself on the track and trying to not be who you are, and you are all weird. I tell you, even if you don't know it cognitively, even if you don't know it but energetically, you know. You're not like anybody else. Kamal, you just talk rubbish.
Look,
Achha,
I have to say something here. Like, it's not only weird, sometimes I find myself crazy also, doing all the crazy things that nobody else could.
weird, crazy is the same.
Yeah.
Of course, if you're weird, you're crazy too. You can't be crazy and not be weird, right? I know it.
Yeah.
So let's allow ourselves, just for these 6 days, will you allow yourself to be weird for once?
Yes.
Let's
Kamal,
just,
this is the first group for crazy pupils. So all the crazy pupils can join here.
yeah,
Yes.
sure. Anybody who is not even in Access is welcome. Your
Okay.
friends and family are welcome.
She should be crazy only, no?
No, we'll make them crazy.
Okay.
There's some here who are turning to be a little crazy. They're letting them go, which they didn't allow themselves earlier. So it's okay. Access changes people, right?
Yes.
Let's listen to this book with no point of view. For these 1 hour, for 6 days, can we just be ourselves? Can we not judge? Can we not go into इसने क्या लिखा है, क्या नहीं है? And every time that comes up, please lower your barriers and say, okay, bye-bye, not now. We will talk to you next Monday or Sunday. Can you do that for yourself or for me? Thank you, Shimon. So let's see. Says please lower your barriers, okay? Introduction. I did write this book for everyone. Can you mute yourself, guys? There are people waiting. Okay. So lower your barriers, okay? Okay, write down the answers if there are any. And in between, just listen. I'll just read and you just listen. If you have any questions, we will leave the 5 or 10 minutes before that to answer it. Okay? So 30 minutes, we are just going to read. I didn't write this book for anyone. I wrote it for a few. The people that realize that this reality in its current form is not working to bring about the greater us. This is truly possible. I wrote it for the dreamers, those who know that something different and greater should be possible, and that we should be able to know it. You dreamers are my people. You are the ones who can only change the world if you can just allow yourself the permission to do it. If you can come out of the idea that this reality as it is will ever be enough for you. And if you can simply begin to realize that every limitation you have ever thought you had was simply a greatness that you couldn't recognize, couldn't yet recognize. If you were being you, who would you be? What if you, truly being you, is all it takes to change everything? Your life, everyone around you, and the world. What if you, being you, were the missing key to having everything you have ever desired or wanted to create and change in the world? What if you, being you, meant receiving everybody, everything, being everything, knowing everything, and perceiving everything? Do you know that it's time to wake up? That's what this book is meant to do. It isn't like any other self-improvement book you've ever read. It's not the same old spiritual, psychological rehash or the same old stuff with different words. It's not the kind of book that you read and then judge yourself for being inadequate afterwards. No, This is a book about empowering you to change many of the ways in which you are judging you, making you wrong and feeling inadequate. It is about coming out of the judgment of you and the idea that you are wrong in any way. Maybe it will even invite you to know that more is possible. Imagine what it would be like to not have to feel wrong about you in any way, for any reason, ever again. What if you are different? You are the difference the earth requires. So beautiful. What if you are the difference the earth requires? Is now the time to step up? So what does it take to truly be you? Would you be willing to try something completely different? It isn't about succeeding as you or doing something better. It is about being you, being the energy of you, whatever that may be. Has anyone ever asked you to show up as you, just you, exactly as you are? I'd like to invite you to this, being the energy of you. Start by reading start by reading and using the tools in this book. They may seem really simple, but please don't discount them because of that. If you choose to use these tools, your life will change. And your investment in this book will be worth many times whatever you paid for it. You don't even have to put massive amount of work into the exercises in this book. Reading them is all that is required, and the willingness to change, just the willingness. You don't have to know how the change is going to occur. The how is up to the universe. Use the tools and allow the universe to work for you. If you could figure out your life by thinking, if you could mentally figure out how to be you, wouldn't you have done so already? If thinking yourself out of the box actually worked, wouldn't you be generating a totally different reality by now? I mean, really, haven't you been trying to think your way out of the box forever? If you were willing, this book can give you an awareness and a reminder of what it is like to be you, beyond the cognitive and beyond the logical mind. It also gives you the tools to choose you. Throughout this book, I'll be asking you to look at things from a different perspective. Why? Because looking at things from a same perspective has created the life you currently have. If that were enough for you, you wouldn't be reading this book. So let's do one thing. Lower our barriers again, if they are coming up. Would you be willing to find out who you truly be? Would you be willing to make the demand that you show up? Would you be willing to know what's really true for you? Let me tell you a bit about the playing field. Part 1 of the book is about, do you want me to tell you what this part book is? You will know when you read. So let's go to, you will also be introduced to some of the tools that can assist you in changing all of where you're stuck. What else is possible if everything this reality considers important and valuable is an illusion? Would you be willing to let that go? Do you know that everything that you have been told since you were born, it's all illusion? And if you don't, just ask this question, please, and let go. And not true, important, and valuable for you. It might be for somebody else. Is it true and valuable for you? That's the question. And in part 2, we will explore what's beyond. So in part 1, we just tell you all the things that you have been telling yourself, which is an illusion. And the part 2 will give you the exercises and the tools to create the life that you would like to have. So what are the infinite possibilities? What if you are magic? What if you were leader of your life? What if we lived in a kingdom of we, instead of wailing ourselves off in an artificial created kingdom of me? What if the earth doesn't need saving? And what if you being you is the gift that is required to change the world? Along the way, I'll give you many things to ponder. I will offer you the possibilities of changing many things now. Please know it is always your choice. And as long as you are choosing, I have no point of view about what you choose. Please just keep choosing for you, for all of us. Why does he say for all of us? Because what you choose for you becomes available for everybody else. You open doors for everybody else to choose it. You are so crucial to the possibilities. Trying to fix things doesn't work. We, especially us dreamers, seem to spend an inordinate amount of time trying to fix what we feel must be wrong with us, rather than creating and generating a different world, a world with the kind of possibilities we'd like to be able to choose. As we explore many of the ways in which you may have been keeping yourself stuck, I'll point out some completely different and different ways of looking at things that you may never have considered before, and many that you probably have considered, but didn't know that you could choose or institute. And always with the invitation, would you like to choose something different here? Because even when you don't know how that different reality is going to be created, your choice is always the first step to getting there. Your choice is always the first step to getting here. We are so entrained to say no. The first thing that comes out of us is no. There's this lady who's in Elante, Malvika Madan. She's for 3 days there running bars. I was there with her for a day. Not one. You had to convince or say it and manipulate them to come and get their bars tasters done. Not one said, I want to get it done. We are in a reactive society. We just say no first and then we will choose. Pros and cons and what and all. We will see to that and then choose. So choice is the first thing. You don't have to know how. That choice is going to show up. Your choice that it shows up changes the world to begin to allow it to happen. The universe's job is fulfillment. You just have to choose to move in that direction and just keep moving. If you do not one, and nothing will ever stop you again. As the title suggests, can you please mute yourself, guys? Thank you. As the title suggests, the book is written from the awareness that you being you will truly change not only your life, but also the world. In fact, incredible people being willing to be them and choosing according to what they know, no matter the criticism or the judgment or anyone else's point of view, is the only thing that ever changed the world. This is not a book of answers. I'm not a guru. I'm not perfect. And I don't have any answers for you. I only have questions. People waiting. This book is about possibilities, the possibilities for completely different way of being in the world. Way back in 2000, I made a demand that changed my life. For my whole life, I was one of those dreamers. I did everything I could to make others around me happy. I did everything I could think of to contribute to making people's lives better. I went to a chiropractic college so I could learn new and better ways to create miracles in people's bodies and lives, because I knew it should be possible. Yet, this reality and the problems of this reality weighed so heavily on me that I became helpless, hopeless that it would ever change. I had most of the things that were supposed to matter here, but very little of it did. How many of you feel that you have everything but still not happy? I began to wake up depressed, unhappy. This story everybody knows. So everybody knows this story? Hi, Harikirti. Hi, Sunita. Hi, Purvi. If I missed anybody, I'm sorry. Hi, Mehek, Zora. Bubble. So, guys, let's miss that because we all know that story that he tried to commit suicide and then he got a newspaper for the class and he went for bars, and after that life changed. So then by total surprise to me, I found the way out, a way beyond, a way to change everything that I thought could not be changed. And I was given access to my life again, access to a desire to live and to fully enjoy it, to know that I was a contribution and to know that there was something else possible. And most importantly, to know that everything I always thought was true actually is. To be the best of, to the best of my ability, this is what I am going to share with you as we explore being you changing the world. Why me? Why did I write this book? In 2000, when I came to the Ye Fir Wohi Kahani Hai, in 2002, he was like, I don't want to live. If it doesn't change, then I'm not going to live. Deep down, you know there is something different. Most of us know there is something different. And he also knew. So he says, you also know, like you do. I made a demand of the universe. Either my life completely changes or I'm out of here. I even set a date, 6 months in the future. I gave the universe a deadline. Literally a week later, I found something that changed my entire life. Access consciousness. I experienced a sense and awareness of being peace and space that I have been looking for all my life. And I never contemplated killing myself again. And I hope with this book that I can give you that gift also. Since then, the peace and the space has been continued to grow, has just continued to grow in contrast to every other modality I had ever done. The tools I'm sharing with you in this book are part of Access, and they have continued to expand me living and my life, living and my consciousness every moment of every day from my first contact with them. Access is the weirdest, wackiest, craziest modality I have ever come across, and it works. It just works. One way or the other, one way of describing Access is an energy transformation modality which links seasoned wisdom, ancient knowledge, and highly contemporary pragmatic tools for change. Its purpose is to create the possibility for there to be the world of consciousness and oneness. What is consciousness, you say? Consciousness includes everything and judges nothing. It includes every possibility that could exist, with absolutely no judgment of any of it or of you. Does that sound like the world you would like to be in, live in? So, if you read on, if not, now probably is a good time to pass this book on to one of your weird friends or family members. Today I traveled around the world. Today I travel. So he's just talking about what he did and what he does. We all know that. You are being you and you are changing the world. Next page. That's page 8. You are being you and you are changing the world. I've also been very fortunate to have the most phenomenal of facilitators and co-creators, the co-creator, the founder of Access Consciousness, Gary Douglas, as my best friend. How did I get so lucky? Hi, Kavita.
Hello, ma'am.
Welcome. Please know this. These tools, perspectives, and processes have changed lives for thousands of people all over the world. This is the reason I wrote this book. This is one possibility. Will it work for you? Will it work for you? Will this book work for you? Last line. Will this book guide you to be you? And will that truly change the world? Only you can say. Only you know, my friend. Only you can choose for you. So what do you know? And is it possible? This is the invitation you'll be willing to, waiting for? Is now the time? I will do whatever it takes to show you the possibilities. Your job is just to stay out of judgment and conclusions long enough to see if those possibilities are something you would like to choose. Will you come along? Want to play? Are you ready? Let's go. So guys, here's the time to decide. Not decide. Here's the time to choose. To lower your barriers. Become present. No judgment of him or you or book, especially of you, because you are a miracle walking. Please get that. You couldn't be anything less than that. Even the ones who are not here are the same. They just don't know it. We just didn't know it. It's now the time to choose to be you. I know, looking at you, courageous people who are here, chosen to be here, it's time. Let's destroy and create all the decisions, judgments, conclusions, competitions, projections, expectations, separations, judgments, and rejections of us, of anything that's around us that doesn't match our energy. Those things are also a gift, guys. Let's just do it. Just do it because we can, because it's fun. And just allowing that will be a gift for you. All the points of views you have of Access, of Dane, of Gary, of me, of you, just give up. Are you here to gift something? Or to get something? No. You beautiful beings are here because I pulled you in. You beautiful beings are here because you must have asked something. And this book reappeared. You created this. You are a contribution. Actually, you are here to contribute and receive contribution just by being you. Just by being here. With that knowing, can we spend this time together? Thank you. Note to the reader, weird. So you know what weird is, right? Says, do you know the original meaning of weird? Weird is off spirit, fate, and destiny. So anybody calls you weird, say thank you. Does that sound like you? Just a little bit. Would you be willing to let go of this illusion that you are average, normal, and real, and just like everyone else? Just like that? Now is now the time to recognize who you truly be? Would you Instead, be willing to be as weird, as wonderful, as amazing, as original, as you truly be. I didn't have any words. Right, wrong, good, bad, cock, pod, on, I, shows, boy, bad. We all know what this is, right? A clearing statement, a magic wand. Everything you don't want, just say that and it goes. Good book. Because this book is designed to create change, it will probably confuse or annoy you at times. If you don't understand something or if it feels incomplete, many times the information needed for you to understand it will be will be presented a few short pages ahead or where you are in the book. So that's why I said, if you have any questions, leave it to the late, because you will get all your answers here. This man is amazing. How does it get any better than this? Please don't buy anything he says, what he says. Only that what resonates. That in Access, in every Access class, we say, facilitators say, Gary says, Dane says, that please do not buy into anything that you hear, read, because what's true for you will make you light, and what's not true for you will make you heavy. If it is heavy, it's not for you. It's not true for you. Even if Gary and Dane have written it. Please also know many parts of the books are designed to get you to question what is true for you, rather than presenting you with the points of view that you are supposed to buy. Please do not buy anything. These parts may seem incomplete to you, but they were left that way on purpose, so you can come to your own knowing as you ponder. So if you find yourself questioning or wondering, this book is doing its job. Good book. Good book. Part 1, being you. We spent our entire life trying to prove that we are not what we never were in the first place. We spent our entire life trying to prove that we are not what we never were in the first place. Quite a tongue twister. What if you started to embrace reality in your terms? What if your reality was something completely different? What if a completely different reality is exactly what is required? Is now the time. So any of you relate to this? Or you are still trying to fit into this reality? Or you're still trying to create yourself as real, normal, average, according to this reality? I know you're not, because you're here. Even if you have slightest knowing of that, will you be willing to let that go, please? And change it. Choose you, no matter what. Destroy and uncreate, set your reality free. If you look at the book, it looks solid, right? So it says anything that looks solid doesn't mean that it is cannot be changed. It's just the molecules are closely knit. That's why it seems the walls, the books, seem like that. What if your limitations, what you think cannot change, is just like that? Would you be willing to choose different? What if the limitations in your life and in your body, every single one of them were exactly the same way? What if they looked really solid, and that's the way you have been able to see them until now? You change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. Wayne Dyer said that. I know it sounds strange, and yet what I will invite you to, if you are willing to receive it, is the awareness that those things are not necessarily solid, never were solid, and don't have to be solid anymore. I'd like to invite you and the energy you are to go back to this place where you took all these molecules and arranged them as solid instead of space, possibility, changeability, and undo it So it can be the space that is actually it. So how many times we think of something and then we keep thinking of that same event again and again and again. We keep putting layers after layers about a person we don't like, and we keep filling it up and making it solid. It doesn't have to be. What anybody ever tells you anything is just an interesting point of view. Don't buy it. So I'd like to invite you and the energy you are to go back to the place and change it. You can. Everything is changeable. That's all. And so many more than that. In order to get there, sometimes in this book, I will be asking you to give something up. Actually, I may ask you to destroy and uncreate it. It may seem crazy at the time. Why would I ever ask you to do that? Because whatever you're willing to destroy and uncreate and let go of, something that is limiting you is automatically and instantly opens up the space for something less limited or even unlimited to show up. The moment you acknowledge something you're willing, you can change it. If you're not willing to acknowledge it, to see it, to know it, to perceive it, and you keep telling yourself lies that this is it, the way it is, it cannot be changed. Nothing can be changed then. The moment you recognize and acknowledge it, it can be changed now. You're ready for that change. Earth is asking for a change. World is asking for a change. You are asking for a change. Here, it's your contribution. Now is the time. Why would I ever ask this? Let go of the limitation, and the unlimited finally has space to exist. Yes, please stop a second and ask yourself, am I willing to do this? If you get yes, what do you have to lose? Everything you are willing to give up, uncreate, destroy opens up a totally different possibility in your life. You can never give up what you be. So many people tell me, keep giving up everything that I am, then I'll be left nothing. No, you cannot. Nothing can destroy you. You are undestroyable. You can never give up what you be. Your very being is indestructible. You can only let go of, uncreate and destroy what is defining you, limiting you, keeping you and your being stuck, which makes room for something different and greater to show up. If you like, I would highly suggest adding this clearing statement. Right, wrong, good, bad, POC, POD, online shots, boys, we are all from Access here, I think. And so we know this, right? This statement asks the consciousness of you to go back to the point of creation or point of destruction before you even planted the seed to this limitation and inviting the seed to dissolve. The funny and weird thing is that just does. It just does. It just works. Wonders. It works like magic. What if magic is what you truly be? What if you could consider this statement, a clearing statement, as your magic wand? A way to change any part of your life that you would like to change. Wands out. Let's go. Let's go. If you are like more of an explanation, please go to theclearingstatement.com. Ask a question. Don't look for answers. Please, please, please don't look for answers. We have looked for answers all our life. That's landed us here. So what if we just ask questions? Be in question, become a question. Anything that comes out of your mouth is a question. I can hear you thinking already. The wheels are turning. Think, take, talk. Right, wrong, good, bad. Can this reality work? Has it worked till now? Haven't you had enough of the darn machine you call your mind? And it's incessant search for the right answer yet. Let me give you the way out of the right answer. Ask a question. It really is that simple. You don't like simple, right? You like tough, you like struggle. You like to make things complicated. Ask me how. So I have a question for you. Do you people have choice? Without asking a question, we are left to wander the halls of the labyrinth we have created as though it is our only set of choices in life. You all have choices. I know you know it. If you ask a question, we are on page 16, all of a sudden doors open up to left, to the right, and they've got light and space behind them, exploring different rooms, the other doorways of possibilities. You open them up and it's like, wow, there are possibilities I didn't even know existed. The question is the key to opening other doorways of possibilities. You'll never see those doors and you'll never even know they are there, let alone be able to open them if you don't ask a question. What does he mean? If you have an answer already, then you are only going towards the answer. You're wearing those blinders. Can you see there's a door here and a door here, a light here and a space here? No, you are only going towards your answer, to create that answer into reality. And what if when you ask a question, then you have possibilities showing up. When in doubt, ask a question. Here are some great questions you can ask to open up more possibilities in many situations in your life. How does it get any better than this? What else is possible? What is this? What can I do for this? Can I change it? How can I change it? What's right about this I'm not getting? And there are many more he's written here. I'm not going to read. Here's how it usually works in this reality. We ask a question and then we go to a mind. Is that the right answer? Is that the wrong answer? Is that the right answer? Is that the wrong answer? उसने सिर्फ right answer लिखा है. मैंने add कर दिया. So how many times you ask a question and go to your head? It doesn't work. You ask your question and let go. Now it's not your job. How is the job of the universe? Not your job at all. It's like he says, it's like putting a seed, and then every day seeing if that seed is growing or not. And it's a stupid not growing. I put a seed, it should have grown. It should have shown me an answer. It's exactly like that. Please let the universe work. Let the seed become seedling and a plant and a tree. Allow it. Your job is just to plant the seed, just to ask the question. You haven't given it time to sprout and to take root. I have different suggestions for you. Literally, when you ask a question, shut up. Now, when I say that, that may seem unkind to some of you. So I apologize. And just shut up, okay? As a question, and just go quiet for a moment, an hour, a day, a month, whatever is required. And let the energy pervade your universe. Not a right answer, but an energy. When you ask a question, you get the energy of it. This will work, this will not work. Allow it. The energy is the result of the question you had just asked. Whenever you ask a question, an energy comes up. It presents itself. It makes itself known to you. It's that energy that was your reason for asking the question in the first place. This is why you asked the question in the first place, to open the doors to getting the energy which would guide you to the things for which you were asking. So let's ask a question. What gift can this big book be to you that you couldn't even imagine? When you bought, borrowed, found, stole, or were gifted. So everything that you, what energy, what is a gift in this? Anything. Somebody's barking, or somebody's fighting, or somebody's angry. What's the gift in this? If you're choosing something, what's the gift in this? Now, my friend, shut up and read. Beyond this reality. Oh, we are 9-2. Okay, we'll give 5 minutes for you to answer. We are on 20 page only. We can do, well, I'm willing to go with your suggestions. If you want me to just continuously read till 30% and leave the book for you to read, or you could read some and come back again, 50% we can say that we need to, 50 pages we need to read every day. And we've read only 20 because today I talked too much. You want me to just read? You want me to read just 30% and leave it? Or you would like what I suggested, that you read some or whatever, how much ever we can read here, and the rest you can read at home and come with your questions. Now, today, anybody's written any question?
So, Kawal, I would like to say something here. It's like if you could tell us for up till what pages we should be reading, then we can definitely do the homework. As means I can do it. I'm sure about me. You can ask others.
Pages now you have to read for tomorrow.
Yeah, I think that's a very good suggestion.
Yeah.
Keep
Now-
you in it. That will keep you connected. That will keep you,
Yeah.
you know, and that's a commitment you have to make to yourself. I know
Truly.
I'm very busy, but if you're
Mm.
here and you really require, desire to read this book, then we can read the whole book together. Like,
Yeah.
whatever we can read here and the rest you read at home. Yes.
So, yeah, so you said that 54 pages every day. So like today you have read say till page 20. So we are just left till 54. Okay, so we read from 20 to 54 or maybe from 1 to 54, and then we come tomorrow and then we read, and how much ever is left and whatever questions that we have, we address it towards the end of the.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
That's
So any
wonderful.
questions now? Thank you so much, Harveen.
Yeah.
And Dilpal. So anybody has any questions today?
So the 54 translates to what percentage on Kindle?
I will check up and write it in the group. If
Okay,
anybody,
thank-
if anybody has a Kindle at the moment, can say it. Or I will write it.
So, Kawal, 54 pages daily, and if we are doing this book for 6 days, then at least it's gonna be 5%.
Sorry?
It's 5%. 5 into 6 is 30, right? So if you are making this book for 30 days, so then it's gonna be 4% till 54 page.
Okay, that's a calculation everybody can do, but I will write it down and give it to you. Okay? And no questions today?
Oh, I think we are on page 24 today. Is it
20.
page 20?
20. According to the book I have is 20 page today.
Okay.
So we're going to read from chapter 1 tomorrow, Your Reality and the Free Will Universe.
Oh, we'll read from there tomorrow. That's what you're saying?
No, we will not read from there, but that's where we read, and you have to read from.
Okay.
So we can begin from page 54 or 55 tomorrow. Page
Yeah,
50
where that's new chapter starts.
Yeah.
So and you can ask, if you have any questions, you can ask.
Okay.
Good? We are good?
Yes.
Good. Yes.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks. Thank you.
Thank
Bye. Bye.
Bye. I'm so grateful to you guys. Bye-bye.
Bye.